When there are situations, whether a career or personal life, and there's pressure, I succeed. However, when there is pressure in athletics, I crumble. And I have many examples of that over my life. And when I was watching Brooks Kriske melt down with his 4 wild pitches in the 10th inning, and the one that really got me was the one that sailed over the catcher's head.
That one or the one that didn't even get to the dirt?
Well, that
was hilarious.
Too,
and then he's yelling at the umpire that it's the ball.
Yeah, that is funny. He's like, another ball. Come on, let's go here.
How about another pitcher?
Yeah. And then also even on the sac fly that wins the game, the poor son of a bitch slips and falls on the mound.
Yes, he did, yeah.
I mean, that was missed in all of this conversation.
This is it. Look at this. It's terrible.
And I hate to laugh.
Oh, it's horrible.
But man, it was funny in a way for people who are not Yankee fans. It was certainly funny. But I feel for the guy because this is like, think about there's no way that guy slept a wink last night.
No, him and Chad Green. And Chad Green, too.
Yeah, but Chad Green's going to get another opportunity. He's going to go out there. He's still one of the most reliable relievers the Yankees have. But,
no doubt.
I mean, Brooks Kriske is now, he's just known as the guy who can't grip the baseball.
He's Wild Thing.
Yeah, I mean, and also there was one of the Red Sox pitchers that slipped on the mound, too, after that long rain delay, and there was a ton of water on the field. So it wasn't just Kriske, but the fact that he had the 4 wild pitches and the sac fly, the walk-off sac fly, there he is in a heap on the mound.
God.
It's as bad as it gets.
Yeah, I'm not sure of this, so I'll ask you, because I actually think it's really 5, but 1 doesn't count because there was no one on base, I believe. Mm-hmm. So he was all over the place.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to laugh. I feel for you if you're a Yankee fan. That's a terrible loss. Most people, as I told Al before, I had a couple of texts when I woke up from Yankee fans that were just furious that they take Sessa out after just 5 pitches and it was great.
Well, I wanted Montgomery to finish the 6th, too, I thought. I mean, I understand why not, and he gives up the hit. They gave him an opportunity to, gives up a hit, and he comes and gets him. But I thought he was pitching well. To me, Aaron Boone going to the bullpen that early, which created a situation later in the game where you had to go to Kriske, was a problem as well.
At the end of the day, it's 3-1 in the 9th inning win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with Chad Green.
Yes.
Yeah, who you would want in that spot. That's really what it comes down to.
But he wasn't very good either. So between the two of them, tough night for sure. But you're right. For Kriske, it is going to be if he's not there already, it's going to be a long drive back to Scranton-Wilkes-Barre because, my goodness, I felt for him. And I know I'm laughing at it this morning because it's hours and hours removed. But my God, if you're a Yankee fan, you've got to be sitting there watching that last night saying, what the hell is this? Because here's the thing, too. And there, Kay and Cone and O'Neill were talking about it. It was so quick.
Yeah.
Like they get Justin Wilson up, but there is no time to warm him up to get him in the game. Like this poor guy's throwing left, he's throwing right, he's throwing up, he's throwing down. Couldn't find the plate. Next thing you know, the game's over.
Yeah, I know. And then
I was like, wow.
And Brantley's behind the plate last night. And this guy, he's just, all right, when you're not used to a player like Brantley, meaning as a fan watching a game, and he takes his mask off, he looks like a real young guy, and you got Kriske bouncing the balls everywhere, and Brantley takes his mask off. He's like, all right, come on, let's go. Come on. I'm just watching this, and I am laughing as well. I know that I've said this like several times lately, but these meltdowns make me laugh.
Yeah.
And then with him falling on the mound, and Brantley.
Right, keep in mind, we're not laughing at Chad Green. That was bad enough.
That was terrible, but the Yankees shouldn't be in this situation. And here is the thesis statement for the day with the New York Yankees. And I understand it's a game. They still have 3 more against the Red Sox. They're still within striking distance in the wild card, even though they're now, again, 8 games. They're on the verge of cutting it to 6 games behind Boston. Now they're back to 8 games.
Yeah.
But every time that you feel good about what the Yankees are doing, there's always one of these.
Yeah, they've had a few of them now.
And this is what I was trying to say yesterday, was that things are good outside of the All-Star break, but there's just so much more that you need to see from them to have any confidence, because just right around the corner, Aaron Boone calls them gut punches, right around the corner, there's always another gut punch this season.
Yeah, and they've given away, and I mean it, they've given away games, late in games, 9th inning, leads. I mean, hell, the big leads they've lost. Last night's a rough one. You've got a 2-1. You've got 2 leads in this game. You take the 3-1 lead, then you're good enough. You get the lead right back. You make it 4-3, and you give it back to them in what felt like 90 seconds. So they're more than gut punches. They are games that you have essentially gift wrapped to the opponent. And in this case, it's the Red Sox to start a long weekend that could. Now you got Cole tonight.
Yeah.
So maybe you get it right back and you get it even and whatever. Last night turns out to just be a loss. But at the end of the day, and this is where they say, well, a loss. So who was it on the Mets? Was it Dominic Smith? Who was it? It was like, well, we'll get it going in the second half when the games matter more.
Yeah.
No. These matter.
Well, especially
These
the
matter.
Yankees, too.
There's no question they matter. You have to. It's one thing if you just lose a game and you say, you know what, everyone's going to lose 60 games. This was one of the 60.
Yeah.
This was one that you were supposed to get.
Of course. You're right on the verge. I mean, think about the conversations that we're having with the Yankees out of the break, winning that last night. Yeah, with 3 more against Boston, you're thinking, Dream, well, what if you end up sweeping them? What if you cut it to a 3-game lead or 3 games behind the Red Sox? Then you got Tampa Bay right after that. I mean, that's what we would be saying, but instead it's Brooks Kriske and his lighting the mound on fire, the gasoline job that he did in the 10th inning.
And you're right, G. Like they closed that game out last night, and if they blow it the one time, they don't blow it the second, they walk away with the win. With Cole coming up tonight, like you really put yourself in position to have a big weekend. Forget the sweep. You put yourself in position to win 3 or 4.
Right, with what you've already done so far out of the break.
Exactly.
And then the whole conversation around the Yankees had changed with the small ball, and they did it again last night.
Oh, yeah, they did. Odor with the I don't think that was he probably got a sacrifice. Right. I think he was trying to bunt a drag bunt for a base hit. But the fact that they're bunting, LeMahieu stealing the base, I mean...
Getting runners in, sack flies. I mean, that's what we have been asking for from them the entire year, and that's the way they were winning the game last night until they weren't.
Yep.
So that's why it's just so incredibly frustrating, and you feel like... And this is why when you have these seasons where you dig yourself a hole, they're the most frustrating ever because you have no room for error anymore. You can't survive these type of nights against the teams that are ahead of you. And this one is going to sting. This is one of those games that even after the rest of July, August, and September will still be a reference point for the Yankee season. It's one of those. Exactly when you needed a win and how you were playing and who you were playing and to let it slip away that way. Do you ever have a meltdown like that you can remember in your own athletic escapades? Because I have one in particular that I still have nightmares about many years later.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yes.
I think it was senior year, playing second base at good old St. John Vianney. I believe one inning. Mm-hmm. In one inning, I believe a ball went through my legs. Then I threw the next pitch with the guy on first. I threw the double play ball, routine double play ball. I threw into left field. And then I think we had second and third. And it's funny. You're struggling. The ball just finds you.
Yeah.
And I believe certainly the next batter, might have been the next pitch, was a ground ball that we played back. I fielded it beautifully, and then I threw the ball about 5 feet wide of first base.
Oh.
And it was like you're looking to just dig a hole and go hide.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. I do remember that.
Yeah, of course. Of course you remember. I can go even farther back. So it was 6th grade summer league travel baseball. And Neil Heaton was coaching our team, who we had on just recently. And Neil's son, Neil Heaton Jr., was on the team, and that's why he coached his son, and we just happened to be the benefit of that. And Neil was obviously a great teacher and knew what to do, and the team was very good. And he turned me into a pretty decent pitcher because he was telling me how to throw changeups or just things that he did to make me pitch well. So I had this great summer of pitching, and it was me and this other guy, Jason Klein, and we were like the 1-2, and we were going to go through the playoffs in the Summer League Baseball. That's what we're going to do. So we play a team called Yuma, all right? Yuma. I don't even know what it stood for, but it was Yuma. It wasn't a town, but Yuma.
Okay.
They had orange jerseys. So I get the call for game 1 of the playoffs. I was having the summer of my life, 6th grade. Neil Heaton taught me how to pitch. I was under control. I remember I hadn't lost the game all summer. And then the nerves start coming up because it's the playoffs. This is not an exaggeration. I hit 5 guys in a row. 5 in a row. Wow. Now, it just shows you how much faith he had in me to leave me in for 5 straight hit batters. And he didn't pull me out after 3 hit batters. So the thing that I remember the most about this was getting pulled after the 5th guy that I hit in a row because of nerves. And the opposing team's parents thought I was doing it on purpose.
I might think that too.
Because We had been so good, and Neil, it was like Neil Heaton, a former Major League Baseball player, is coming in here, and like he likes to intimidate and this and that. So they thought I was hitting their kids on purpose.
Yeah.
And I just remember them heckling me as a sixth grader. Like, get him out of here. What a jerk. You're trying to hurt our guys. And I was like, I'm not. I wanted to win the game. I just lost the release point, and I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't know if I would think that they were doing it on purpose, but I do think after the third one in a row, I might look to the other coach and be like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I think and I even think Neil, when I loaded the bases.
And then hit another guy. And then there was one run, and he still left me in. Wow. He thought I was going to get out of it somehow, and I didn't. And that was it, huh? Was that the first inning by any chance?
It was. It was the first inning. It was the first inning. Total meltdown. And then he cut me from the sixth grade team when he coached it the next year.
Understandably so. I mean, if you can't pitch in that spot, I get it.
It was like Krisky last night. Just get out of here.
Yeah, that was brings back memories for some of us. That is for sure.
Yeah, no, it's just terrible.
And it'd be nightmares for him.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.